Welcome, guys, to another exciting episode of the Pitch Whispers podcast. There's a lot happening in the world of football, so many surprising results today, Saturday, and we are here to give you the updates in all those matches. And of course, our main discussion for the day will be the AFCON Final. I'm here today with Andy, who's joining me shortly. Andy.
Well. Yeah, we're back again.
Yeah,
A
most
lot
definitely.
has happened in the week. We are
Yeah,
back again.
yeah, a lot of surprising results. I mean, starting early this afternoon with Manchester United having a very shocking performance and a shocking results right there. We were all surprised with what happened. Carrick's first game in charge back at Old Trafford. I mean, the intensity of the game, the desire from the players, and all that. It was a shocking result. I think City didn't see this coming. Andy, what were your thoughts about that match?
Okay, so life without Ruben Amorim. That's the answer. The answer I would give you because we knew this team or this squad was a transition squad. Everybody could see it from the outside. The sort of players United have is a transition based team. You don't leave Bruno Fernandes in the middle with Casemiro and expect not to be dominated by other teams. But then again, let's not take anything away from Michael Carrick. He's had just 3 days with the squad, and you could see that the guys were playing for Manchester United. The intensity was there from minutes go. The first chance of the game, I believe Harry Maguire should have scored that, but that set the tone, and they knew that they had to be aggressive. They were stacking. They needed to show grit, and I actually believe the 2-0 scoreline flattered Man City.
Yeah,
Yeah, this game should have been a 5-0
yeah.
minimum. Actually, United even scored 5 goals, but the margins were tight on all three offside goals. I don't believe Mason Mount's goal should be chalked off. I still believe Mateus Cunha was on. I think what the PGMOL is giving us as the line, I don't believe in that. They are using Nathan Ake. I think they should look at
Rodri.
Yes,
Yeah.
Rodri's position.
Yeah.
So I still believe Mason Mount was robbed of a good goal, a well-worked goal, a decent team goal, and long may it continue. I was hoping Arsenal would capitalize, but they couldn't. But
Yeah.
that keeps the league interesting for most parts. I mean, I want Arsenal to win, but I need a KG win. I need an interesting win. It keeps the suspense going.
Yeah, most definitely. We'll come to us now, but I mean, despite everything that happened at Old Trafford, I know most United fans are not carried away because we know it's a derby match, and with derby matches, you don't need a lot to motivate these players. It comes naturally. So what we would use to judge Carrick will be more based on the small matches. That's when we can see if the players are really putting up that same intensity they showed against City. Because with the big matches, it takes just a little to motivate them, and then so all things being equal, it's been a good start for Carrick, and we just hope that he can carry on, and then we'll see where it leads from there. And also there were other shocking results across the league. Today, Liverpool drew that match. I don't even understand. I don't even know how it got to that point. 1-1 against Burnley. I think Zoboslai got
I'm actually not surprised. Though, because if you remember in the first round of matches, it took Hannibal's. I don't want to use harsh words, but he made a serious error that led to a penalty for Mo Salah to score in almost the last kick of the game for Liverpool to win at Turf Moor. So I think Scott Parker had a plan. They stuck to their guns, and they truly deserved that point. I mean, Soboslai should have buried that pen, but they dug in and they made sure they were still in it till the time was right for them to bomb forward and then equalize. So I'm not actually shocked. I mean, for the nature of the result, we expect Liverpool at home at Anfield playing towards the cup to sack the ball in, like they always say. But I think this season there's something missing in that Liverpool midfield. I don't know what it is, but I can't put my head around it. I believe it's something that going forward they had to address. if they have the chance to address it this window, they have to take a look at it, because it's fine margins between 4 or 5 teams vying for that final Champions League spot. And for Liverpool to be one of those teams, they need to put in a decent round of results. I mean, the teams in that zone are not consistent. That is why Liverpool find themselves in fourth currently. But any one of the teams there who puts in consecutive wins, I believe would pull apart, because the teams in and around that zone don't show any form of consistency. I'm not disappointed in Liverpool's position kindly, because they had a very rough patch in October, November, and they've done well to pull themselves together to get to this point. However, they are still showing some level of inconsistencies, and it is costing them. So Liverpool should put in some decent form, and they should, I believe they would wrap up fourth spot. Even though I want United to get fourth spot, I think Liverpool will wrap it up.
Yeah. And Andy, based on what happened at Old Trafford, we expected Arsenal to carry on and then widen the gap to 9 points. But there we go again. Arsenal unable to break down a very resilient Sean Dyche side. And they kept huffing and puffing. We really didn't know where the goal was going to come from. But that was a solid display from Forest. Is a good point for them. But for us now, fine, they still sit at the top of the table with 7 points, if with Villa having a game in hand. But this is another opportunity that Arsenal could have really grasped the Premier League title moving forward, because we are getting into the crucial months or the crucial stages of the tournament. But yet again, they weren't able to break through. What was your take on that, Andy?
So this points they drop, I think it's typical Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche is in to frustrate you, especially the top teams. He's just in to make a point. And I put this solely on the doorstep of Mikel Arteta. I don't know what that selection was for that starting level. In a game,
and then Madueke.
Yeah. I don't know why he decided to drop.
I think probably trying to rest some players because they have a Champions League match coming up against Inter, and I mean
they are top of the table. They've qualified for the next round. I don't think it was okay to drop Bukayo Saka.
Yeah,
I mean, you could try and kill the game off in the first half and then make changes to rest your players and think about. But this was a must-win game. It was in football tactical terms, coaching terms. This is great management if you're able to deflate the confidence of City. City have lost to their biggest City rivals. They are down now. It is for you to deflate whatever confidence that's left. Stretch that point gap to 9, and then kill whatever confidence that's left in that team. Now, City would have their heads dropped because they lost. But the draw now, they will sniff blood because they feel that Arsenal couldn't capitalize. And that for them, next week they play Wolves. They play Wolves before Arsenal play United. If they can crawl that lead back to 4, it puts pressure on Arsenal that they didn't need to do so in the first place. So I believe Mikel Arteta goofed big time. He should have started with his strongest team. I mean, they have quality depth, but he should have gone with the strongest team, wrap up the game up in an hour, and make changes to rest the big guns. I think it's something he will rule come the end of the season if it doesn't go as planned. I still tip them to win the league. They have enough quality to see off their 2 top challenges, which is City and Villa. I don't think Villa have a deep squad to run and have a run in Europe and go for the league. I think a decent top 4 finish is okay for Villa. So Arsenal have everything to go for in this league, and I hope they do take it. I'm counting on them to take it because they are my best for the league this year.
Absolutely. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens later on in the season. But Andy, we cannot talk about the Premier League without talking about Chelsea. Liam Rosinoa, he had his first win in the Premier League this afternoon against Brentford. I was a little bit surprised. I thought Brentford could have put up a fight, but there was no way coming back from that match. And Chelsea, or Liam, really showed that he's here to prove a point.
Yeah. Good start. I mean, Brentford don't come easy. Before kickoff, Brentford was actually ahead of Chelsea on the league log, and it was, I think, fifth v eighth, if I'm not mistaken, before kickoff. So it was actually playing. It's a 6 point tie against somebody you call your direct rival for a top four finish. So it was a tough game. I expected Brentford to do more, at least to worry that Chelsea back four when I saw your good friend in there, Tosin. But but then again, it's great that they won with a clean sheet. And I know what a clean sheet would do for a new manager, because if you're able to put in your ideas to get you goals, but also maintain your shape out of possession and get your back four to neutralize any form of danger and end up with a clean sheet, it goes a long way to help team morale and team confidence. The defenders will be boosted by that. The attackers would have confidence in their defenders, and that would help them propel them to whatever greater heights. But I think this team will still fall short of top four. I don't think they have the experience and the know-how, because Liam himself is a newbie when it comes to management. I mean, he's had a run at Derby County where he did relatively okay. His Strasbourg team are good to watch. I mean, they only missed out on the Champions League, I think, on the last day because they lost last season. And they are in the Conference League now. They are doing really well in the Conference League. So he started bright as a manager, but I don't think he has the experience to push for a top four against the managers that are vying for top four this year. And I think the top three are set in stone. Maybe Villa will finish fourth, but when we get to the business, and I think Villa will struggle because of the depth they do not have. I am tipping Liverpool to be the other team, and if they can keep some form of consistency, I don't see Chelsea making it. If the other teams in Europe can get a fit spot for the Premier League, then I think it will be a battle between Chelsea and United for the final spot.
Yeah, but Andy, I don't think the Villa fans will be happy with you. I think they are trying to pull a Leicester there. I think they see themselves as contenders. So if you say you don't see them making it within the top,
but I think the difference between the Leicester team and Villa now was Leicester were playing virtually one game every week.
Yeah.
They could prepare for that. I don't think
on all fronts. Yeah,
I don't think the Villa team have the depth in their squad. They are not deep enough to try and fight for 3 trophies, because they are great in the Europa League. I think they are the team to beat in the Europa League. I believe they'll win it if they put their eggs in that basket. And I'm hoping that they will give a deep run in the Europa League to give them at least the feel of winning. So playing Thursday, Sunday, when it gets to the business end, I don't think that will help them. We saw what happened to Spurs and United last season when they were going deep in the Europa League. Virtually, they were not thinking about the league anymore, because those two teams didn't have the depth in their squad to do that. Spurs were fighting their injury woes. United had their defenders all over the place last season. And I think that would be a problem for Villa when we get to the business end. They don't have that deep a squad to be able to mount a challenge in both the league and the Europa League.
Rightly said. Moving away from the Premier League, and then to our main topic for the day, that's the AFCON. Slowly, AFCON is coming to an end tomorrow. We have the final game between Senegal and the host nation, Morocco. But before we get to the preview for that match, we will be taking a look at the third and fourth match that took place today between Nigeria and Egypt. Nigeria winning on penalties. Mo Salah, he missed the penalty. That's surprising. he's giving his critics a lot of points to talk about him this AFCON, because Carragher will be licking his lip. He's waiting for him to come back, and he said, "Well, I said it. He's not won anything for Egypt, and it's clearly shown."
But I think Salah has had a great AFCON. I didn't expect Egypt to get this far. I thought we were going to go out in the quarterfinal because they don't have.
Yeah.
They lack quality in that squad. They were virtually relying on Salah and Mahmoud to get them this far. And I think on the scorers log, I think Salah is second behind Brahim Diaz, if I'm not mistaken.
He'll
So
be
he's had
somewhere in there because Osimhen is then Lukman
yes, I
too.
think he and Osimhen have 4 goals, if I'm not mistaken. And that has been he has carried them this far. He scored almost all Egypt's goals getting to this point. So he and Mamouche have had a great tournament. I don't really judge team based on the third place because for most of the players, that third place game is a dead rubber. They are thinking about leaving the competition altogether. So they don't really put in any seriousness into that third place game. So
Nigeria a little bit of a weekend lineup,
yeah.
But I think it's a consolation for Nigeria. Or you don't think they came in for third place? Niger.
I'm actually glad that they placed third. At least they didn't go empty-handed. They were thinking they were going to win it, and we know they were not going to win. They tried to blame our brother for the game against Morocco, but you don't play a whole 120 minutes and have 2 shots and then complain about the referee. The referee had a decent game to me. I mean, he wasn't perfect, but if he wasn't Ghanaian, nobody would have complained about that referee's performance. So I don't see where they were clutching at straws. Morocco deserved to go through. And we are glad that we have a final to live up to. It's going to be a cracker, and we hope that both coaches will come in and live up to the billing.
Most definitely. I mean, talking about the final, you can't get it any better than this. Senegal versus Morocco. It's a big one. Senegal has shown that they are a dominant side when it comes to African football. Like, the consistency is crazy from their defense to their midfield, their attackers, and they have so many options on the bench. The last time I saw Sabali on their bench, I think that right back who plays for, does he still play for Real Betis?
Yeah, I think Sabali is still.
Wow, that's a very brilliant player. They have their bench could be the starting lineup for most nations in this tournament, and it's really surprising. But they've lived up to the expectation, and they are the final. If you want someone to upset Morocco, then it's definitely going to be Senegal. I don't know who I'm going to back for this one, but I'm leaning a little bit towards Senegal. I know during the build up to the AFCON, I said it's going to be a host and win. But I love the underdog story. So I'm getting to lean towards Senegal this time around. But I'm sure before we end the show, I'll definitely bring up my prediction. Andy, a big one. It's a cracker. What do you think we should expect from this final?
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Senegal in the knockout phases. I think they actually started slow in the group stage. They were quite open in midfield in the group stage. But Thiaw has stepped up his coaching in the knockout phases. Against Egypt, I think the game was won from the bench. If you look at how tactical that game was, I was watching that game and I was looking at the movements, when to press. It's anybody who wants to take up a career in coaching, sit and watch that game. It was too great having that. And after watching that game, I was quite sad because you have 2 countries with 2 legends from their country coaching them, and the level of coaching was top notch. And I compared it with what we have in Otoado, and I think Otoado needs to step up if we're going to have a good World Cup. But not to digress, going back to Senegal, I think if there's any team on the continent that has the temperament to upset Morocco at home against that crowd, I think Senegal is the only team that can do that. They have the players, they have the manager. I think he hasn't lost in 2 years. The last I checked, he won 16 and drawn 8. Yeah. So I think if there's any team that can beat Morocco, it's Senegal. And I'm hoping that CAF will live up to the billing. They've had a really enjoyable tournament. I mean, this tournament, I know for AFCON, we always say that there's always a shock. But I think the big guys stepped up. You can't pinpoint any star man for any country who you say, oh, this guy flopped. From Morocco, Brahim Diaz lived up to the billing. Mane has stepped up for Senegal. Osimhen did what he could for Nigeria. Mo Salah dragged Egypt to. Even Amad Diallo had a solid AFCON before Ivory Coast were eliminated. So it's been an AFCON for the big boys. Everybody has showed up, and I'm glad that African players see this as the opportunity to shine. And it's been, for a PR point of view, it's been amazing for CAF, because for European teams, European fans who have big players from their team and wanted to follow them, every big person has lived up to the billing. So for people who were trying to see if Salah would shine, he did shine. Those that love Osimhen, he's been the man. I think for this tournament, I'm still tipping Morocco to do it, but I think it will be slim margins. I think
we'll be coming to your prediction very, very shortly.
Yeah,
we'll be coming to your prediction very, very shortly. But before
tactically, Senegal have what it takes to upset, like you said.
Like I said, I'll be taking your prediction very shortly. But before we get to that point, let me put you on the spot a little bit. On the scale of 10, how are you going to rate this tournament based on the organization, the quality of football, the display of tactics and all that? How are you going to rate this tournament? Has it been a very wonderful one?
I think, Jeff, for organization, I would have loved to be there to have seen the screen and everything. But from afar, what I looked at, it's been top notch. It's been one of the best AFCONs. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10. For coaching and tactical display, I'm going strong on this one, a 9. I've watched all 16 teams in the round of 16. Those that the 8 that did exit earlier, I think that for most of them, they had good coaching, but they were not top notch. But for the 16 teams that went through, I sat back and looked at the tactical display from all coaches, and it was top notch. And I wasn't shocked Ghana wasn't there. I think it was good Ghana wasn't there, not because we don't have the squad for it, but
I might have praised.
We lack the tactical nous to compete against that 16. And it doesn't lie, because look at the teams that eliminated Ghana. Angola and Sudan virtually didn't show up or turn up in this tournament. So that's how I feel.
And then, Andy, finally, to your prediction for that match. I know throughout the tournament, you've had some spot-on predictions throughout the tournament. This is the final one. Who do you think is going to win? And how do you think the game will pan out? I just want to know. I'm getting to the point where I'm trying to get my final prediction ready, because I know the very moment you are done talking, I'll tell you what's going to happen in the final tomorrow.
Okay. So before I give my prediction, I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who has subscribed, who has been with us through the tournament. You've been engaging your comments. We've taken your criticisms and we'll work on them. Those that are giving the praise to, we understand the praise, and we're not swelling headed. We will look at the positives and then still try to keep it the best that we can give. On the game tomorrow, it's a tough one. I've thought about it 3-4 times, and every time my prediction changes. I've looked at both teams, and I think it will be very close. It will be very, very close. I'm going 2-1 to Morocco. And I won't be shocked if the second goal comes in extra time. But I'm happy. At least I'm happy that I got the goal king prediction right.
Yeah, Brian Diaz. Yeah, I'll give that one to you.
I was hoping Osimhen and Salah won't score.
Yeah.
But I'm happy I got the prediction on the goal king. At least if I get that right, I'm okay. But I'm going 2-1 Morocco. Okay, I have a gut feeling that 2-1 Morocco is a scoreline. What about you? What's your prediction?
Well, I told you, during this session, I was having a feeling that Senegal is going to nip this one, but it's actually a difficult one. I'm leaning towards Morocco now as it stands. Just a few minutes ago, I was leaning towards Senegal, but I just feel
I've had that the whole day.
I just feel Morocco is going to win this in extra time. It's going to be a fairy tale ending, Andy. Trust me. That's what's going to happen tomorrow. And I can't imagine the vibe in Rabat, all the happiness in the country when Morocco wins this tournament. It will be their second win in the AFCON, and it will be a very big one for them, a host and win. We hope to see how it ends tomorrow, and we'll be here to bring you all the updates and all the reactions. Guys, this is a big one tomorrow. So guys, thank you very much for staying with us. This has been an interesting session today. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back right here after that final to give you all the reaction on that. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. See you some other time. Bye.